Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly Pick a Card Tarot readings for the week of December 18th. If we haven't met, my name is Sydney, I'm the tarot guy next door, and I use my occult knowledge and intuition to help guide you towards life you want. If you have a situation you'd like me to take a look at, you'll find information on how to get a private reading below. I also stream on TikTok on Friday mornings, you should check it out, it's a good time. I'll be doing 5-card open readings, and here are the decks that I have for you. We have the Tarot de Marseille with Carnelian, the Universal Rider-Waite-Smith with Blue Aventurine, and the Dark Mansion Tarot with Red Jasper. We also have 4 different oracle cards to choose from 4 different decks. So go ahead and pick which tarot deck and which oracle card resonate with you the most. It's totally fine if you're drawn to more than one, and as always, you can pause this video if you need more time. As always with collective readings, take what resonates with you and leave aside what doesn't. If you want to jump straight to your reading, you'll find timestamps right below. And with that, let's go right to the readings. All right, group 1, let's see what we have for you for this week. The Pope flipped over while I was shuffling for you, also known as the Hierophant. So let's see what we have. Okay, yeah. I don't have a general vibe, but let's just say that the cards seem internally consistent with themselves, so that's nice. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, I'll see you right now. Group 1, the myth that came to mind and has stayed in my mind while I was staring at these cards this whole time is the 12 labors of Hercules, in the sense of, you know, having to go through a procedure to prove your worth isn't the right phrase, maybe to prove to yourself that you're worthy or to prove to others that you're worthy. But the myth, this doesn't tie into your reading that much, so I shouldn't be going into the Hercules stuff that much, but here we are. Yeah, the notion of going through trials and tribulation in order to get a reward at the end, basically. And the thing that is not clear to me, and I don't think there's any point clarifying this because this is a collective reading. This could be true for some of you, or the opposite could be true for some of you, is whether or not this is self-imposed. That is the only question that I have. But there's a clear indication. You know, we have the binding and temptation and perceived trappedness of the devil card here, and to get to the ace that's at the top, you need to go through the dark, scary valley with all the creepy crawlies that are there, you know. That's often how I read the moon in the Rider-Waite-Smith model. And that aspect is coming to the front here as well. And something that I want to point out is that all the... Wait, does that include... No, it doesn't include the moon. So anyway, like I was saying, all the pips are odd, suggesting some instability or some dynamism or some things being off balance for this week, but also the opportunity that comes with it, with the you know, the brass ring that's at the top that you... Yeah, whatever the brass ring means for you, it doesn't necessarily mean it need to be material gains, even though these are coins. It could be anything that matters to you, anything that motivates you to go forward, and having an opportunity to do that, but it involves stepping away from something that you feel bound to and going through probably the scariest thing that you can conceive of is, yeah. But again, don't forget that the universe, it doesn't always feel this way, but remember that the universe doesn't throw things at you that you cannot handle. Oh, and there's something that I want to clarify about this strength card, because normally in the Rider-Waite-Smith system, this strength card would be, you know, solace, the thing that I said, but the Order of the Golden Dawn, when they adapted this, because the Tarot of the Marseille had been floating around for centuries before the Order of the Golden Dawn was even created, of which Arthur Edward Waite was a member, from which the normal tarot deck that we all know and love came from. And in their deck, the strength, you know, it's a woman like calmly taming a lion with her bare hands. You know, there's a lot of noble, very strong strength to this. Whereas this in the Marseille, you know, you know when your dog eats a piece of paper and runs away, and you're trying to take the piece of paper from out of your dog's mouth before, you know, he swallows it or whatever. That's more the aspect that comes to the front in the Marseille version of the strength. And again, you do have the strength to do it. It's just, I have the feeling that for you, for this week, Group 1, it's going to be a week that, you will be happy it's over by the time it's over, but there's also an opportunity to be happy to have gone through it because of the opportunity that is open to you. As long as you're willing to, try to coax your dog, but if your dog isn't going to open his mouth, then yeah, you can just pry it open and grab that piece of newspaper with slobber all over it so that he doesn't die, and maybe that is your brass ring. But yeah, as long as you trust in your ability to handle these challenges, and also for those of you for whom this is self-imposed, why are you making this so hard on yourself? And unfortunately, with these cards alone, it's difficult for me to get a glimpse into that. But there might be some things that you're doing to make yourself make this week needlessly difficult for yourself, and you might be, if that is true for you, you're being invited to loosen your grip on those a bit. All right, so that is what I have for you, Group 1. Thank you very much for watching. You can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading, and I'll see you there. All right, Group 2, let's see what we have for you for this week. You should know the Empress flipped out. Like literally, she flipped like this and landed like this. And we open with the 10 of Cups. Let's see what the other 4 cards are. Oh, well, that's nice. Wow, an entirely upright reading. Nice. Let's see here. With the Lovers at the bottom of the deck and Temperance in the middle. Like, how bad can this reading be, really? It's borderline, but it's in frame. All right. Group 2, there are times to sow and there are times to reap. And this looks like a week of reaping, but in the good sense, obviously. And just to give you an idea, it was by staring at these cards. While staring at these cards, I suddenly became curious when Christmas is. And looking up at my calendar is when I realized that I am reading for the week that is going into Christmas weekend. And isn't this, like, even if you don't know shit about tarot, just look at these cards. Isn't this a nice depiction of Christmas weekend for a lot of people? There's a lot of happiness, there's a lot of change and transformation, sometimes a little roughhousing verbally or sometimes physically, and here we are, and I'm just here like, I just want to grill, for Christ's sake. That's really the vibe that I'm getting with this Temperance card in the middle of the whole thing, with all this happiness and all this turbulence and all this opportunities for reminiscing and the love and the divine timing, and maybe the Death card here is a nod to you walking someone else through their transformation, or maybe it is something about the Death card is also, it's a cycle, and the holidays, no matter what you celebrate. And I will get to the people who don't celebrate the holidays, or maybe who are lonely during the holidays, because I get it. And, there's an increasing number of people like that, both in absolute numbers and probably as percentage-wise. Like the pie wedge is getting bigger. So I will say what I can to you, But yeah, it's For people who have families that they are typically happy to see, and who will see them during the holidays, this is kind of the vibe. And especially with the Empress that jumped out while I was shuffling, you're being invited to enjoy it and to don't sweat the small stuff and to really focus on the happiness and just rise above the chaos and grill, just kick back and grill. You've earned it, all right? You've earned the right to grill, group 2. And for those of you who, for whom the holidays are a lonely time of year, what I would tell you is because of the increasing number of people who probably feel this way. I'm kind of in the gray zone. I'm like, Christmas isn't my favorite time of year, but it's not my least favorite. But yes, there are extremely lonely times for me as well. And it's still nice to be in this situation during the time of year where you can find people who are in your tribe, And whether or not your tribe is your blood family or whether your tribe is an ideological group, that's often how it plays out on the internet. All right, don't pretend it's not. All right, if you're one of the exceptions, good for you. And not to be offended by this. But anyway, whether your tribe is bloodline related or whether it is ideologically related or whether you're one of the enlightened people who, follows facts and evidence and, have found your own little fedora subreddit of, facts enjoyers, that's still something. And that's something to enjoy and take solace in. And you're being invited to look at what you can do and the options that you do have and try to use that to feed into what you can use to clarify what your goals are for next year, because the holidays happen every year. So yeah, honestly, I'm not sure the extent to which I've helped people who are feeling lonely during the holidays, but it's what I've got. So thank you very much. Enjoy your holidays and Merry Christmas for presumably most of you. And yeah, if you liked your reading, please give this video a like, and you can use the timestamps in the description to jump to your Oracle card reading. I'll see you there. Group 3, I believe the 7 of Cups flipped over while I was shuffling for you. I'm pretty sure it was the 7 of Cups. I'm not sure if it was upright or reverse, but yeah. Anyway, let's see what our cards are. Oh, the card after 7. Okay. Well, at least I know it's not the 9 because this is the 9 of Cups reverse. This is not the card that I peeked at. And this is the Queen of Swords reverse. This is the 6 of Wands, okay. The Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So let's just get the shot right. Good. Group 3, the phrase that literally just came to mind before I unpause is part of what gave me the confidence to unpause. That sums up the vibe of this reading so well is success, but at what cost? And there are many ways to interpret that phrase. But the cost, actually, let's forget about the cost just now. One thing that I want to get out of the way, I think the Christmas spirit or the holiday season, that spirit is quite present in this vibe because we're going into Christmas weekend with this week, and that is a time of strong ambivalence for many people, and the people who don't have ambivalence with the holiday season typically tend to strongly disagree with one another. They're the people who hate Christmas, they're the people who love it. But regardless of this, because the celebration of the Six of Wands is part of what was making me talk about the holidays. You know, because in this depiction of the Six of Wands, it's a wedding. Obviously, that's not the way I'm reading it, but something that is important to keep in mind when there is success is that not everyone deals with that the same way. And not everyone deals with people around them succeeding in the same way. In the traditional Six of Wands card, there is one of the people who's meant to look jealous, apparently. I looked at that. It's a mix. I guess it's just not fresh in my mind, and I don't feel like fetching it in this box here. And the thing to keep in mind is that when you succeed in front of others, that's like a change to be managed as well, you know? And the change element is very strong in the vertical axis of this line here. So we have the threshold card of the Three of Wands. We have the Nine of Cups reversed, a delayed wish. I'm reading the reversal as a delay. We'll get to that. Followed by moving on, moving forward, moving to greener pastures, or going to search for the Ninth Cup, which is one interpretation of the Eight of Cups. But I think that the thing in this card that jumps out to me is this Queen of Swords reversed here. Normally when the Queen of Swords comes up reversed, I take it as an invitation to speak your truth, as a fear of speaking your truth. In this reading, I'm taking the Queen of Swords reversed as an invitation to shut your trap, as an invitation to play it close to the vest, as an invitation for whatever big goal that you want. Try to balance the long game versus the short game. And sometimes when we're speaking our truth, it can bring us closer to the long game but ruin the short game, or vice versa. And I think that the vibe of this, if speaking your truth this week feels like it might be, tricky or non-obvious, or might even hinder the big vision that you have, this might be a week to sit on it and to reflect on how to put it into words. You know how in these videos from longtime viewers, I'll often say bad words and then just immediately say that's not the right word, but I can't think of a better one right now. Take the time to think of a better one for this week anyway. I think that would be a key to helping you either help you create the space necessary to get the aha moments that this week can have for you to offer, or to protect the idea that you had coming into the week. Because you know when, and please keep in mind, I have trust issues in general, all right? So I have exposed my bias, so take it for what it's worth, okay? But you know when you share your ideas with people and they think of all these suggestions to improve your idea, I get how people mean well when they do that. I get it, okay? But for me, it's generally annoying when I talk about my idea to someone and the first thing they do is suggest ways to improve it instead of asking follow-up questions for what, instead of just try to figure out more about what I've thought instead of giving me your idea. I'm sorry, I guess I'm ranting, but this rant is kind of on topic with this. I think that by playing it close to the vest for you for this week and to cherish the vision while not necessarily being so gung-ho to enter the fray, to speak your truth. Enter the fray is the wrong word. I'd expect fives in here, either wands or swords, if that was the vibe, and neither one is here. But sometimes, you could either be right or you could be happy. And obviously it's not a binary choice, but typically when you focus on correcting people's errors, that comes at a cost that is difficult to perceive in the moment, but that you will feel later on. Assuming you have a relationship with these people at all, which again, we're going into Christmas season. Your odds of encountering people that you have long-term relationships with for this week, especially by next weekend, are higher than random, all right? No matter what your spiritual beliefs are, because, shit, I think it's Yule. Yeah, it's Yule for the pagans and shit like that, How can I summarize this message? Play it close to the vest, pick your fights, and just keep in mind the big picture. And whenever you feel an impulse to say or do or correct someone, try to consider the impact that it might have on the big vision that you're trying to have, Yeah, that is the best I can sum up for you right now. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked your reading, please give this video a like. And if you don't want to watch me pick up your reading, you can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading, which is in a couple seconds. All right, Oracle portion. Oh, group one, the actual one, not A. I just wanted to clarify something. I had no idea that we were going into Christmas weekend while I was reading for you. That might be a factor for your reading. It might not be, but just know I was completely oblivious to the timing of this week when I was reading for you. So yeah, that's what I have. So group A, your card is development. Nice. This is I Ching hexagram number 33, and the keywords are, no, it's 53. The keywords are gradual progress, continuity, slowly but surely, adaptability, a time-honored approach. How fitting for this, Jesus Christ. There's one reading in particular for which this fits in so well, but what I would say is the slowly but surely, I would say of all the keywords in there, the slowly but surely element is the most important one. Yeah, you can do it the right way or you can do it the quick way. Try to prioritize the right way, assuming it's a binary choice. You get it. Group B, your card is concession. This is a waning air balsamic moon. There's a lot of information in these cards, so give me a second. I'm going to stare at this. Group B, the way I'm reading this card is as one of take it in stride and take the things that you observe and learn and say and, interact with this week as things that are setting you up for the next cycle, because that is where this card is in the lunar cycle. You see, it's just before the new moon, just before starting another cycle. And at this point in the cycle, because this deck uses flowers and fruits as a metaphor, this is the time of the cycle where all those intellectual fruits that you've acquired for this year, you're kind of gathering the seeds from those fruits so that you can plant them for the next cycle. So in short, don't sweat the small stuff this week and really, how can I say this? Play it close to the vest and think of the long term. I have the, this is a dark metaphor, and I don't even know the names, but it seems to fit the vibe that I'm thinking of, which is, in the Count of Monte Cristo, where the protagonist, slowly plots his revenge, while he's in that prison cell exchanging letters with that cellmate or whatever. I only watched the movie once decades ago, okay? That's what I'm going on. But when, during that time, he's not free, but he is setting up what he needs to have, the best revenge ever, which is why this wasn't the best metaphor to go for. So hopefully you can adapt it to your situation, all right? Group C, your Egyptian god is with a message of exploration. So I think that for you, you are being invited to be more open to different ways of trying things, different ways of doing things, different ways of communicating, be more open to other people's perspectives. And I'm drawn to the fact, and I don't know why this leapt out to me just now. It probably isn't important with the significance of the card, but the fact that he's holding these two, sticks or whatever they are, and he's kind of serving as the go-between between them. And that is an important part of exploration in general, which is to say you encounter something new and then you say, how can I use this? Or how can I improve upon this? Which is kind of the opposite of what I said to one tarot message group. Hopefully you can sort that out. But the main message is, because just because you're thinking about stuff doesn't mean you need to talk about it with everyone, okay? I'm talking to that group only. You know who you are. But yeah, be open to different ways of doing, being, and interacting with the world. Group D, your card is Hod. Oh, a Sephiroth. What is this? It is submission. I will think of where Hod is on the tree and stare at this card. I accidentally stopped recording instead of unpausing. That's why the lighting just changed. Now, the word submission here needs to be stretched beyond its limits to make sense in this reading, so I'm scrapping it. The thing that jumped out to me, first of all, is where Hod is on the tree of life. It's more associated with reason and critical thinking and that kind of shit. But the vibe that I'm getting from this card is one of be patient, bide your time. That's really the vibe that I'm getting with this card. So what I would say, and it's funny too, because what was giving me this vibe is the fact that, this huge light is above the angel's head, but he's shrouded from it, but still a bit exposed to it. It's kind of like he's getting ready to come out of his shell. And he has his hands here in some kind of, some kind of hand sign, which is probably or presumably some kind of prayer, blessing, or power symbol, or whatever the fuck it is. But it's like he is not completely isolated from the light, but getting ready to come out of his shell, getting ready to reveal himself, but not quite doing it yet, which is why the be patient phrase came to mind while I was observing this card. So don't be impatient. Okay, let me rephrase that. Sometimes when we make big moves, it is through impatience. Sometimes a situation isn't as desperate as we think it is, and when we think that a situation is more desperate than it actually is, we make bigger gambles than we need to. So keep that in mind for this week, Group D. And that is a good way to sum up this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give this video a like. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday season. I will see you next time. Take care.